We're back. Bro!
What's that, 9?
Dude.
That's 9.
Dog.
That's at least 9, bro.
I think that was 8.5 right there.
That was 9, bro. We'll go to the replay later.
That was pretty great.
Ready? What's that, 9?
Dude.
That's 9.
Dog.
That's at least 9, bro.
I think that was 8.5 right there.
That was 9, bro. We'll go to the replay later.
Shalom, fam. All praise to the Most High. So I just want to start off and say thank you to everyone who has contributed to the DVD. Okay, so today is the last day of the pre-order process. So anybody who has ordered a DVD thus far will be receiving it. I'm hoping at least around sometime early to mid December. Okay, it won't be before the 7th because I'm still putting the final touches on the project. I've got the last touches of editing to do, and I got to create a little more digital content. But other than that, we'll be ready to go. So be looking for the DVD at some point. I would say mid-month. I've got to still send off. I got to send off the final work to the distribution company and get them all pressed up, and I will be sending them out to you expeditiously. So I really just want to thank everybody for, believing in me enough to contribute your hard-earned money to something that you feel is of value. And part of my appreciation was being able to do the DVD for you guys for $25. So from this point on, the DVD will be $35, which obviously is still a lot of value. So for anybody who's bought the DVD so far, I'm going to be adding a lot of extra content to it. We'll be discussing a few different things, but one of the things that I'm most excited about is I'm going to be able to share my trip with you guys, actually going out west, especially in the California, Nevada, and Utah area. There's a lot of history out there. There's a lot of nature out there, and I was really able to get away for a little bit and see, to me, probably one of the most beautiful places in the world, if not the most beautiful place in the world. I haven't been all over the world, so I would say I don't know, but I'm pretty confident that area is the most beautiful place on earth. And we're just talking about the entire, I would say, national park area in this country. You just look at a map, right? And you'll notice that all of the green areas out west, the restricted national park areas, there's something to that. There's a reason why that land is restricted, and it goes a lot deeper than the National Park Act that Roosevelt signed. It goes a lot deeper than that. So I'm gonna be able to share just my experiences with Day Tripper, and also my sister-in-law now, Jasmine. They got engaged on the trip, which is cool, but it was cool just to be able to share the experience with my brother. So I'm gonna be able to share a lot of stuff with y'all. We skipped rocks everywhere. Like, that was like a thing. We skipped rocks. Any lake we came across, we skipped rocks. So that you'll get to see a couple of rock skipping tournaments that we did. Like, we skipped rocks on the Colorado River. We skipped rocks on this river, really beautiful, called Fallen Leaf. Not river, it was a lake. And it's by Lake Tahoe. And we skipped rocks on the Great Salt Lake, and a couple other places. It was just fun. We're driving across the country to these places, so you're gonna see, our perspective from the road. You'll hear us joking in the car. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys, because honestly, it is the most important trip I've ever taken in my life. When you get out on the land, you just feel something, and it's an indescribable feeling. there's just an eerie familiarity to it. And the way the terrain changes in the West is just immaculate in terms of landscape and just observation, because you're looking at places that literally have not been touched like that by humans. Like, humans have traveled through these places, but you could tell like they haven't been settled. And what we know about that area in ancient history, if all of the ancient history that is said to have happened over there actually happened over here, then holy crap, you're talking about some major stuff. So I'm actually like what, like, this is nigga in the woods. Like, why is this nigga in the woods? So actually, something else I'm going to share with you guys. So y'all know I'm from North Carolina, and this actually, all this land here is my family land. Okay, my grandfather. So this, you can kind of see the area that I'm from. We up here. That's like literally a cousin coming down the road. So once I'm gonna flip this over here in a second. I'll flip it over, and you're gonna be able to see just kind of like where I come from. I feel like this is interesting, like just being able to share with, you know what I'm saying, share with people like your roots. Like, this place is this is like my heritage. My grandfather had this land, and it's probably, I don't know, it's a lot of land. It's like a mountain and a half, maybe a little more. And there are a lot of, you can't see them, but there's houses back there. All of those people are family. Like, I've got cousins. I have like 50 family members or more who live on this land. So I understand how important it is to have, you know, to have something of your indigenous heritage. And I think it's really interesting that there's a lot of land that we have, and claiming it is a really hard thing to do. So I think one thing that one thing that really kind of resonated with me during the trip was like how much land is out there, and how much land they took, and how beautiful the land is, and how when those heathens came over here, you know, they were shitting themselves. Like, think about it. To roll up on the California coast, or the North Carolina coast, or the Maryland coast, or the Virginia coast, and see just the wealth of natural resources, they don't have that over there. They don't have just the sheer mass of our land. So it's really important that we get this land back, more so than anything. And even having a discussion with my brother and my sister about the importance of making sure that this land always stays in our family, because at any point the government can come take it. At any point family can fall off. We have to always make sure that this land stays in the family. So I'm going to show you guys some of the land real quick. And yeah, I'm just going to walk around. I'm not going to walk the whole land because it's crazy, but I'm just going to show you a few things. Cool. So right here, this is just above my grandparents' house, which is down there. I'm going to walk down there. I'm walking down the driveway at my pop's house right now. And it's a pretty steep driveway. It seems steeper when you're not country. When you're not from the country and you come up here, you be like, where the fuck am I going? Well, if you turn around and you go up the mountain, you see what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? So we'll walk on down here. And that right there, that's Fats. Okay, well, that's where my cousin Fats lives. And all of this land down here used to be my grandfather's farming land and or gardens and cornfields and stuff. But since my grandfather, he's no longer with us. My grandfather died when I was in college. And he lived to a very old age. So I have a cool story about my grandfather. One day, we have to tag his property. So basically, when we tag property, we have to walk around with an orange spray can and just spray a ring around the tree to indicate his property line. So he knew his land, and me, a couple of my uncles, my brother, a couple of my cousins, we are walking, right? We're walking and tagging the land. Now, by the time we're tagging the land, this is where my cousin Fats lives. You see, we live, you know, we're humble country folk, you know what I'm saying? But the land is way out there, okay? So, as we're tagging the land, my grandfather at this point, I mean, no lie, he's all of 80 something. Not like, no, I don't want to say he's like 81. I think he's like 84 or something. Okay. So he is, when I say he is murdering us on this mountain, bruh, he is murdering us on this mountain. He's killing us. Like, we're walking up the mountain, we can't keep up with him. It's to the point, because we're walking through stuff like that, right? It's to the point that we can't see him. That's how far up the mountain he's beating us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he was trying to flex on us one last time, but he did that. So, you know, this is my grandparents' house. Now my Aunt Winky lives here. So all of this back here used to be like my grandfather's setup. His shack was back here. He had pigs. He had that. You see, if you can see that shack back there, that was, he had mad dogs for some reason. I'm talking about, my grandfather had hella dogs, but it wasn't like they were out. He like had them in a cage, and it was like 50 mutts. They used to bark all the time. I never really understood that. I don't know if they were hunting dogs or what they were, but there was a shit ton of dogs my grandfather had. So yeah, so he beat us up the mountain. And so what happens is, now I'm gonna walk out a little bit so you can see, but you know, the lane goes probably for at least another mile in that direction. And it kind of ends right over here at the edge over here. But at the very top, there's a mountain over here, which I'm gonna keep walking. So when we're walking, my grandfather's killing us. At the very top of the mountain is an Indian burial, an untouched Indian burial on the family land. When I say it's an Indian burial, it's a mound of rocks piled about 10 feet high. So, you know, I thought about going out there just to observe it one day. Again, that was probably literally 20 years ago when we marked the land. So a lot of this land looks nothing like it did when I was growing up. They had a big weeping willow tree that was right there that we used to swing on all the time. So he had a pigsty back there, which is like the most disgusting thing ever. I remember basically part of my responsibility was slopping the pigs. Like when I was young, and you know, we worked on the farm, you know, we didn't really have to do that much work. You know, my grandparents, they kind of let us play or whatever, but you know, we still had to do stuff. And part of my responsibility was slopping the damn pigs. Oh my God, I hated that shit, bro. Oh my God. So still more of the family land. And like I said, these are all family. The crazy thing is, I have so much family out here, I don't even know everybody, but I know we're family. So this is like my great aunt, or great aunt. This is the other this is the other view of my grandparents' house. This road right here is like the stretch. So here's another story. Walking down these roads brings me so many memories. So, one time, the bull got out, and oh my gosh. So when you're kids, here's all I'm gonna say. Don't mess with the bull, all right? Do not mess with the bull. Because you mess with the bull, a bull is not a cow, and if the bull gets out, you're gonna be in trouble, cuz. You're gonna be in trouble. So, you know, for the longest time, I always felt like my grandfather was a superhero. So I'm walking up here, and so my grandfather had 14 brothers and sisters. This is my Aunt Betty's house, my dad's sister. She's always been here for as long as I can remember. For as long as I can remember, this has been Aunt Betty's house. So this is Aunt Betty's house, and then I'm just gonna walk over here so you can kind of see the mountain there. Yes, we niggas do have a cell phone tower on the mountain. I think that was my uncle who worked that. And so is that, no, that's Fats's house right there. So my dad's house is a little higher up. My dad's house is a little higher up over there. But still, this is all family land. Even going back over there, those are all cousins. That's my cousin Marvin down there. This right here, this is all family land. Like this is a salvage yard now, but this used to be the actual, I don't know what you call it, like the barn where the bull is, where the cows are, where the horses are. What's over here? So it's crazy because this used to be a dirt road. So, and this looks totally different. That's crazy. This is how time changes. So it used to be the fence was right here on the other side of this road. This road wasn't paved, by the way. And, you know, the barn was right there. The cows were over there. It wasn't a barn. It was just an old house. It was a big old house that acted as a barn. So now we're walking down here. And I'm not even going to go all the way down there because that road goes really far to my uncle's house. So I just walked up the driveway. Let me tell you something. You don't want no parts of that hill, cuz. You don't want no parts of that hill. So what I'm doing now is just showing you the view from the view from the front porch at my dad's house. And you can see what you're looking at here is like the North Carolina mountains. So we're like at the lower part, they call the foothills. And then you can kind of see the ones in the distance get taller, especially that one way back there. And then this was what, like the other part of the, that's my dad's shed right there. All right, he's proud of that shed. Because he had, what was it? He had a shed and it blew over. And he's like, my damn shed blew over. So he was like, yeah, I gotta make me a better shed. But I tested it out. I don't think it's gonna blow over this year. This is Billy Mays Jr. and welcome back to the 2019 Rock Skipping Championships, brought to you live from the Great Salt Lake out here in beautiful Utah. Today we have our top competitors, D'Artagnan and UB, in the first round of playoff competition. The number of the beat is 5 skips out here on this beautiful salty lake. On the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. You know what? It was gliding good and it just flipped over. So 6?
We'll take 6. We'll take 6.
6? 6 in the lead for D'Artagnan.
6 in the lead for D'Artagnan. All right, UB's back up. Let's see if he goes with his outsourced rocks or a local rock.
We're going local for the first one.
He's smoking rocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh. That was more than 8. I give you 9 on that one.
But okay. We can go to the replay too.
Shouts out to Tomahawk Isley.
Tomahawk Isley, aka
He invented a new terrible technique that doesn't work. But
Osama bin Camping. This is for you, buddy.
Looks about right.
Look at the follow through though. See that?
And the ash on the leg.
I'm this to fall through.
No, get that.
Get that ash.
Get that.
That's that pre-warm up ankle ash right there.
Boy, that ankle is. Whew.
My nigga.
Yo, you look just like Tomahawk Isaac right here.
Number to beat is 9 for D'Artagnan. Probably around 5. Maybe.
Yeah. That's weird.
Going
That's heartbeat 9.
This rock is actually from the Southern California area. Nice polish on it.
2, 3, 4.
Ooh.
Good gosh, when it hits, it kind of
Yeah.
spins.
I think it's the waves.
Yeah.
Number 2. 1. Ooh, high. 2, 3,
4, 5.
That was a crazy
That was
5
a
right there.
crazy 5. That was your championship round.
Well, I'm throwing
Another one?
around. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Woo!
I didn't see it.
Probably like 8.
No, I will. 1. No. Rock was too light, man.
Good game. It was a good day for me. Not so much for D'Artagnan, but he was a tough competitor. And I know we'll see each other again. Just want to say it was an honor to compete with such a highly just respected individual in the rock skipping game. I've got a lot of respect for him, even in this loss. He'll be back. He's a strong competitor. Thank you.
So my shoulder started hurting after surgery. You know, been dealing with this since the second round of the playoffs, and you know, it's kind of hard to maintain your level of expertise when your body's breaking down. I feel like Peyton Manning in that last Super Bowl. You know, except for I don't like a horse.